Big changes are coming, and they are not the kind that can be ignored. Season 5 of All the Queen's Men is already shaping up to be one of the most talked about chapters of the entire series. The whispers are louder, the stakes are higher, and even the creator himself, Christian Kais, has finally opened up about what fans should expect. But the way he explained it makes it clear this won't just be another season. It could be a turning point, one that might completely shift the future of the show and possibly open doors to a whole new world of spin-offs. If you thought the drama couldn't get any bigger, think again. Since its debut, All the Queen's Men has carried itself like more than just another drama. It's been a cultural wave. At the center of it all is Madame, played with unmatched force by Eva Marcel, a woman who doesn't just sit on the throne, but rules it with fire, grit, and unapologetic ambition. From the very first season, audiences were pulled into a universe where control, loyalty, betrayal, and survival all collide in ways that feel larger than life. The show gave fans not only high-stakes power struggles, but also a deep look into the personal sacrifices that come with maintaining dominance. Season after season, the stakes have risen. What started as a bold story about a woman commanding her empire in the male-dominated world of exotic dancing turned into something much greater. It became a story of trust being tested, empires being challenged, and enemies rising from every corner. Characters were more than just supporting pieces. They became fan favorites, each with their own motives and secrets. From unexpected alliances to shocking betrayals, the show has never been afraid to push its characters to the edge. And that's exactly why it built such a loyal following. One of the key reasons All the Queen's Men connected so deeply with its audience is the balance between pure entertainment and raw emotion. Madame is strong, but she is also human. Her moments of vulnerability are as unforgettable as her scenes of pure dominance. Fans have watched her fight battles on every level: personal relationships, business rivalries, and even threats to her very life. The tension comes not only from what she does next, but also from who she can truly trust. Every time it feels like she has secured her empire, another danger rises, and the viewers are left hanging on the edge, waiting for her next move. By the time season 4 ended, it was clear the writers were preparing to take things to an entirely new level. Cliffhangers left fans desperate for answers. Would Madame's empire survive the growing threats around her? Which allies would prove loyal? And which ones were simply waiting for the right moment to turn? And what about those storylines that seem to be quietly building in the background? Could they explode in Season 5? All of these questions and more are what made Christian Kai's comments about the future so important. When the creator speaks, fans listen, and this time, what he hinted at suggests that Season 5 won't just be another continuation. It will be a reinvention, one that could change the DNA of the series. Before diving into what Kai's actually revealed, it's important to understand why this moment matters. Television shows that run for multiple seasons often face a tough choice: repeat the same formula or evolve into something greater. All the Queen's Men has already proven it can reinvent itself each season by adding new characters, shifting alliances, and raising the stakes. But if what Kais has suggested comes to life, Season 5 might push the series into brand new territory that could carry not only fresh storylines, but also entirely new shows. And for fans who have been there since the beginning, this might be the most exciting and unpredictable chapter yet. When Christian Kais speaks about All the Queen's Men, fans know they're not just hearing from a writer or a producer, they're hearing from the mind that built the entire empire. Kais isn't someone who casually throws out ideas. He's careful, deliberate, and fully aware of how invested fans are in every twist and turn. That's why his recent comments about Season 5 struck such a chord. He didn't just tease the future. He laid down hints that the series is about to take a bold new direction, one that could redefine how we see Madame's world. One of the first things Kais made clear was that change is not just coming, it's necessary. According to him, a series like this can't survive if it stays predictable. He explained that the drama must evolve in order to keep shocking and challenging the audience. It's not enough to just repeat what worked before. Kai stressed that viewers deserve a story that grows with them, one that constantly raises the stakes. In his words, Season 5 won't be about recycling old rivalries or replaying familiar battles. Instead, it will bring fresh conflicts, deeper character arcs, and storylines that fans never expected to see on screen. What stood out the most in Kai's explanation was his focus on character transformation. He hinted that some of the people we've grown attached to over the years will be pushed into directions that may shock us. For fans, that's both thrilling and terrifying. It means characters we thought we knew might reveal sides of themselves. That completely changed the game. This doesn't just apply to villains either. Heroes may make dark choices, and enemies could form surprising alliances. According to Kai's, the goal is to keep audiences guessing not just about what will happen next, but about who these characters truly are when pushed to their limits. Kai's also made an important point about Madame herself. He suggested that while she has been the beating heart of the series since day one, the pressures she will face in Season 5 will be unlike anything before. She's already faced betrayal, near destruction, and even attempts on her life, but now, the challenges won't just come from outside her empire, they'll come from within. Kai's hinted that her leadership will be tested in ways that could shatter even the strongest ruler. For fans, that means Season 5 could reveal a side of Madame we've never truly seen before, a woman forced to confront not only her enemies but also herself. Another fascinating layer to Kai's comments was his openness about expanding the universe. He didn't confirm any specific spin-offs outright, but the way he spoke about new branches of storytelling raised eyebrows everywhere. He mentioned how some characters have grown so popular and layered that their stories deserve more space to breathe. For longtime viewers, that's a tantalizing possibility. Could we see a prequel that dives into Madame's rise to power? Could one of her rivals or allies get their own series? Kai's didn't spell it out, but he made it clear the door is open. This means Season 5 could be more than just the next chapter. It could be the launchpad for an entire expanded universe. Perhaps the most striking part of his talk was the passion behind his words. Kai's isn't just writing for ratings, he's writing for legacy. He talked about how All the Queen's Men has grown beyond being just entertainment. It's become a platform to show strength, resilience, and the price of ambition. By evolving the story, he believes the show can continue to resonate not only with its core fans but also with new audiences who may be drawn in by the changes. In other words, he wants Season 5 to feel like both a reward for loyal fans and an invitation for new viewers to join the ride. It's rare for a creator to be so transparent about the creative process, but that's part of why fans trust Christian. Kai's, he doesn't just build suspense for the sake of shock value. He builds it because he cares about telling stories that matter. And as he explained what's ahead, it became obvious that Season 5 will not be business as usual. It will be riskier, bolder, and more daring than anything we've seen so far. For a show that has already made a name for itself by breaking the mold, that's saying something. So, when Christian Kai speaks, we should listen closely. His words aren't just empty hype. They're the roadmap to where the story is heading. And if he's right, Season 5 won't just surprise us, it will challenge us to see these characters, this empire, and maybe even the entire genre of power. Dramas in a new light. For fans of All the Queen's Men, that means one thing: get ready, because the next season may change everything you thought you knew about this world. The word change often gets thrown around in television, but when it comes to All the Queen's Men Season 5, it's not just a slogan, it's a warning. Christian Kai has already made it clear that the series can no longer move forward by repeating what has worked in the past. And if we look at the trajectory of the show so far, that makes perfect sense. Each season has raised the stakes in ways that felt bigger and bolder than the one before. Now, Season 5 is positioned to be the most dramatic leap yet, reshaping storylines, character arcs, and even the tone of the show. This isn't a small adjustment, it's a full-scale shift that could redefine how fans experience the series moving forward. One of the first major changes fans should expect is the shifting of power dynamics. For 4 seasons, Madam has been the undisputed center of power, the one who controlled the Empire with both ruthless strategy and emotional intensity. But Season 5 may shake that foundation. The hints suggest that new challengers will rise, not only from outside her empire but also from within her closest circle. Trust, already fragile, will be stretched thinner than ever. Audiences may see Madam face betrayals and rivalries that don't just come from predictable enemies but from people she once called allies. This makes the drama more personal, more dangerous, and far more unpredictable. The tone of Season 5 is also expected to evolve. Past seasons have given audiences a mix of high glamour, dangerous drama, and emotional depth. But now, the hints point toward a darker, grittier edge. This doesn't mean the show will lose its stylish appeal. It means the stakes will feel heavier, the choices more brutal, and the consequences harsher. Kai's emphasized the importance of pushing characters to places that test not just their strength, but their morality. That means heroes might be forced to make decisions that leave fans divided, and villains may show sides of themselves that are unexpectedly human. The lines between good and evil, loyalty and betrayal, might blur in ways we haven't seen before. Season 5 may also shift the pacing of the story. In earlier seasons, the series thrived on explosive cliffhangers and fast-paced twists, but Kai's suggested a more layered approach this time around. Instead of racing from one shocking moment to another, the new season could build tension through slower burns, developing rivalries in the background, deepening character struggles, and letting small conflicts grow until they explode into chaos. This kind of storytelling can feel more dangerous because it mirrors real life. Betrayals don't always happen in one night. Sometimes they're carefully planned, slowly revealed, and devastating when they finally arrive. Another expected change lies in the relationships between characters. Madam has always been the central figure, but her connections, both romantic and strategic, have shaped much of the story. In Season 5, those connections will be tested like never before. Friends may turn to enemies, lovers may become rivals, and allies could find themselves forced to choose between loyalty and survival. These changes are not just about adding shock value. They are about growth by evolving the relationships. The writers are giving the audience a chance to see characters in new lights, making them more complex, more flawed, and more real. Perhaps the boldest change will be how the season positions itself as a bridge to the future. Kai's hinted that Season 5 will plant seeds for possible spin-offs, and that means storylines may be crafted with long-term impact in mind. Characters who may have once felt like side players could suddenly be given story arcs that stand on their own, preparing them for bigger roles in this universe. That's why this season feels so different. It isn't just about wrapping up Madam's battles. It's about expanding the world around her. At its core, the biggest change in Season 5 may be the emotional weight it carries. Every season has been dramatic, but this one feels like it could be the most personal yet. It's not just about Madam holding onto her throne, it's about her questioning who she is when that throne is threatened. It's about characters being pushed into corners where they must reveal their true selves. It's about building a season that doesn't just entertain, but also leaves viewers thinking long after the episode ends. In short, Season 5 is shaping up to be more than just a continuation. It's a transformation. It's a chance for the show to push boundaries, shock its audience, and set the stage for something even bigger. And for fans who have been on this journey from the start, these changes won't just feel exciting, they'll feel necessary. Because in the dangerous world of all the Queen's men, nothing stays the same forever. And that's exactly why we can't look away. Whenever a series builds a world as rich and layered as All the Queen's Men, one question always rises to the surface. What happens when the story grows too big for a single show? Christian Kais has already hinted that Season 5 may not just continue Madame's journey, it might also serve as the foundation for something larger, something that expands the universe beyond the main storyline. That means spin-offs are no longer a distant dream. They're a real possibility. And if the seeds are planted carefully, these spin-offs could take the drama, the intrigue, and the power struggles of this universe into completely new directions. The most obvious candidate for a spin-off is Madame herself. Eva Marcel has carried the series with such intensity that a standalone story about Madame's past or future feels almost inevitable. Imagine a prequel that dives into how she built her empire from the ground up. Fans have only been given glimpses of her rise to power, but a deeper look at her early years could reveal the battles, sacrifices, and betrayals that shaped her into the force she is today. It would be raw, emotional, and dangerous, everything fans love about her, but in a new setting that explains why she rules the way she does. But Kais didn't stop at Madame. He also made it clear that some supporting characters have become strong enough to carry their own shows. This is where the possibilities become exciting. For example, characters who have always stood in Madame's shadow could finally step into the spotlight. A spin-off centered on one of her allies or rivals could give viewers a fresh perspective on the world they thought they knew. Instead of seeing everything through Madame's eyes, audiences could explore how other players fight for survival, build their own empires, and navigate betrayals of their own. Another direction for a spin-off could be exploring the rival clubs and factions that have been introduced but never fully explored. In the main show, these groups serve as obstacles or enemies for Madame, but in a spin-off, they could be the protagonists of their own story. How do they run their operations? What drives them to compete in such a ruthless environment? A spin-off like this could widen the scope of the universe, showing that Madame's empire is only one piece of a much larger and more dangerous puzzle. Christian Kais also teased the idea of new branches of storytelling, which could mean diving into different genres within the same universe. Imagine a spin-off that focuses less on the Empire's big battles and more on the personal lives of the dancers, guards, or family members who orbit around Madame's world. It could strip away some of the glamour and focus on the sacrifices people make to survive in her orbit. Such a show would give fans a more intimate look at characters who don't always get the spotlight, while still keeping the high drama and emotional weight that define all the Queen's men. There's also the exciting possibility of a spin-off that goes international. Madame's empire has already proven that it can stretch its influence. But what if one of her rivals or allies expanded beyond Atlanta? A spin-off set in another city or even another country could explore how the same rules of power, loyalty, and betrayal play out in different cultures and environments. This wouldn't just expand the story. It would expand the brand of all the Queen's men, making it feel like a global empire rather than just a local one. The biggest reason these spin-offs feel possible is that the fan base has shown they're ready for more. Each season has sparked endless discussions online, with viewers debating which characters deserve more attention, which storylines should be explored further, and which rivalries could carry their own weight. Kais seems to understand this better than anyone. By planting seeds in Season 5, he's giving fans the gift of speculation now and the promise of expansion later. It's also worth noting that spin-offs aren't just about storytelling, they're about legacy. A show like All the Queen's Men has already proven its staying power, but spin-offs could ensure its impact lasts for years to come. Just as other major franchises have expanded into multiple series, building entire universes around a central story, All the Queen's Men has the potential to become more than a single show. It could become a brand that explores power, ambition, and survival from every possible angle. Ultimately, the idea of spin-offs adds another layer of excitement to Season 5. It means that every new character could be more than just a temporary addition. They could be the lead of a new story waiting to happen. Every subplot could double as a doorway to a bigger narrative. And every choice Madame makes could ripple outward into storylines we haven't even imagined yet. So while fans are eagerly waiting to see what happens next in the main series, they should also keep an eye out for the details that hint at the future. Because if Christian Kais follows through on what he suggested, All the Queen's Men Season 5 won't just be another chapter, it will be the beginning of a much larger empire. An empire so big, it can't be contained by just one show.